I've got a lot on my mind. I don't know that I can express it all. I think first, I think we would be first. I love BYU and what they stand for. I love their coach. I love the way they play the game, and I just Kalani and I text this morning and just said, man, what a great honor it is to compete and show the world that we can be different universities. And I just respect the heck out of him and his players. I know they're going through a hard stretch. I hate that for them, and hate if they were offended in any way by our excitement from our students and everyone. I hope that's not the case. But so I want to say that first, and then secondly, the vision Dr. Falwell cast many decades ago. To be able to walk in that today, to see the stadium full, the excitement around campus today, even downtown last night. I just, I didn't particularly like it, but there was a lot going on, and that's restaurants were full, and I got texts from a couple of my buddies who own restaurants saying, "Dude, thank you. This is the biggest weekends we'll have all year," and all that's a product of Dr. Falwell's vision. And then I think we'd be remiss not to also, Jerry Jr. and his vision to create a plan to put in place so many things that fund the things that are necessary to be competitive at this level. And what a great plan he had. I wasn't here when he did it, but obviously he was part of the crew along with Ian and Todd and Mickey that brought me here. And I just think there's a lot of people that share in this night, and obviously then get to our fans. What an incredible atmosphere! To see them so ecstatic and having the time they did just brings me great joy. And could have stayed out there a while, but it was getting a little tight for me. and I've gotten to experience that twice before, and it never gets old, even though I know it's not quite the protocol. I just think it was a big night. And then our players, man, golly, that they fight. And all week long, I kind of knew that we had a great plan and that our kids had a little edge about them. We had a great week, great Monday. I'm so happy for JB. I'm just so happy because he takes the brunt of a lot of our inconsistencies that we've had this year with our injuries, and just for him to raise his game tonight in such an important night in the history of our program. That's just so dang awesome, and I'm just so happy for JB to be able to experience this moment. So that's gratifying. But our kids, man, we had a great game, great plan, great execution of it, and I've been holding some back a little bit offensively, as you saw, but maybe I shouldn't do that and make some of these other games quite so interesting. But really it came down to JB being a consistent quarterback tonight, using his legs when he needed to, his checkdowns when he needed to, and I thought, I'm rambling, but it's a big night, and I made it big for Monday, and I debated if that was the right thing to do, but I think our players know me, and if I said anything other than that, I think they would have thought, man, Freeze he's not being true to himself. And so I just told him point blank, this is the biggest game in school history. And I don't know, told him at the hotel this morning, I have no idea what the scoreboard will say at the end. I have no idea. And I don't even want you to look at the scoreboard. I want you to just immerse yourself in a fist fight for 4 quarters, and let's see what it says. But the only thing that would make you a failure today would be you not offering up something that cost you something. And just proud of the way they responded.
You've been part of some field stormings before in your tenure, but did this one feel a little bit different?
Yeah, for me, I think this is not about me, so I don't. But obviously, to have them when you beat an Alabama, who was the #1 team in the nation, was quite fun. But to have the opportunity to come to a place that loves you for who you are, that gets to know you and judges you for who you are, good and bad, and then gives you the reins to prove that you can have field stormings at a place like this. It makes my gratitude level is pretty high, and just thankful. So it was. They're all fun, but this one right now, it ranks way up there.
You fell behind 14-3. Obviously, that's not the plan, but the resolve that your team showed, what were they able to do to overcome that?
Well, I don't know if we have to keep talking about this, but our team has shown resolve every single game, even if we played ugly. So I don't. If you expect that our team is not going to show resolve, then I don't. You guys really haven't been paying attention. That's something you should write about for the whole year. Is that our team has shown grit. We may have played as ugly as you can play, but never once have they folded and not fought. So that was never an issue. The truthfully, and my coaches say these fouls that they call them are huge plays with linemen downfield, which we have not had a single one all year on our RPO game. And all of a sudden, this crew from a different conference is flagging them. And the coaches up top said, "Coach, we are not beyond 3 yards." So I'm anxious to see it. But I thought that kind of killed our momentum. JB had one bad throw. It was a bad one, and it was a turnover. But we knew we had good stuff planned for them, and felt like we could stay balanced. And I think we did. I hadn't seen the stats. I don't know. But I thought it was a really solid game, other than one possession that we kind of fooled around on. But I thought it was a solid game. So, we just kept doing what we did, and I never felt like they stopped us, and so it wasn't a matter of. We just thought we kind of stopped ourselves, but defensively, I thought we played really well too to hold it in the 14 points. Not many people have done that.
It was 547 yards tonight total. That's a season high. It was apparent early to try to get the ball to your playmakers, your Day Hunters, your Demario Douglases. But what about the guys like Noah Frith and Trayon Sibley and C.J. Daniels with a big catch, and just other guys stepping up in the absence of others?
They had to. They had to step up. We had, we're wearing the red shirt, C.J. Daniels, and went to him and just said, "Man, we're really thin, and I think you could really help us win this football game." And he said, "Coach, I really want a red shirt so that I have healthy years, but man, let's do it." And he never blinked and prepared himself. And I thought everyone around JB played well. Our tight ends played well. Our running backs caught the ball out of the backfield well. And truthfully, I don't remember a drop tonight. I'm not saying we didn't have one. I just don't remember one. So Noah's been in a lot of fights and wars with us, so it's not surprising to see him play well.
I know the offense is going to get a lot of publicity for 41, but after the first quarter, your defense held them to 142 yards over the final 45 minutes. No points, 3 and outs, turnovers. What can you say about the adjustments they made and just being able to just stymie that offense?
They've played well all year, other than maybe third and long. And our coaches we just don't blink, and we just keep working to figure out the next series and what we can do. I think our front's playing well and stopping the run. I don't know what they had rushing, but it wasn't much. I don't think, but 71 yards. Against that offensive line and that quarterback and backs, some of those were scrambles, I think. But I thought our D-line in front. Mike Smith played a heck of a game, and I'm sure there's others. But just really proud of Josh, Jack, Eubanks, JG, all the guys on the defensive side. What a great job they've done all year. And sometimes it wasn't real fun because they're having to go back on the field a lot. And I think tonight we kind of relieved them some of that pressure, and they were able to place with some freedom.
What was it like to get Charlie back on the field?
Well,
Three
it
plays.
just didn't feel good. He just came as soon as warm-ups were over. He told me, "Man, my hand's throbbing." And so I kind of knew that it probably wasn't going to happen. And I hate it for all our kids that are injured that they didn't get to experience tonight. But at the same time, proud of all the ones who stepped up to get it done.
You mentioned JB some in your opening statement, but I think it'd be fair to say that he's had some critics and naysayers outside of the locker room, but for him to be able to clear his mind and headspace and to be able to put out a performance like that on a big stage, what does that say just about him and his leadership?
I just think he's been with us for all 4 seasons, and he's a mature young man. And some of the criticism, quarterbacks are going to get criticized, and we've been very inconsistent. He's been inconsistent, to this point for a year. But I've seen him at times be really hot too, and I've seen him in practice. I do think that I probably freed him up more this week to make sure he loved the plan, and told him I believed in him. Man, I texted him one night this week and said, "Dude, you can execute this plan. Just go believe it." And heck, I've been with quarterbacks that get criticized, but I want to say this: the bottom line for a quarterback is the overall win-loss record, and if I believe he's 4-0 as a starter, so we'll take the criticism and we'll deal with it and tell him to keep winning games.
Day with 213 rushing yards of the 300 that you had tonight. It was hard to take him down, wasn't it?
Yeah, you got to give credit to the O-line and tight ends. They blocked really well, but he did run extremely well, and I almost lost it on him on that 4th down when we threw the swing to him out of the backfield. He started dancing around right at the chains. I almost panicked. I literally almost threw up right there on the sideline. And he gets so emotional into the game that sometimes he kind of loses sight of what's really happening right now on this play. Thank God he got it, but man, boy, did he laid it all out there for sure.
Pre-game, it looked like right before you guys ran out of the tunnel, you were looking back up toward the scoreboard. Was that just taking in the pre-game video and the montage in the moment? Is that something you normally do?
I don't want to get run over, and I know when I'm supposed to go. When my face comes on there with Flames Nation Rise With Us, I need to get moving because I don't run very fast, and I didn't want to get. I just kind of saw the look in our kids' eyes, and I thought, man, I got to get out of the way.
Self-preservation?
Absolutely.
We got time for 1 or 2 more, Coach. Coach, a 7-1 record. The only loss, obviously, 1 point on the road to Wake Forest. Do you feel like your team is among the top 25 in the country?
I don't know. Let all you guys that vote on that decide that. Here's the deal with that, man. You get in it 1 week, and then you lose, and all of a sudden you lose your value, which makes no sense to me all the time. But I don't even know if we're getting votes or anything. I know this is Wake Forest still a top 25 team.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah, they won handily.
So they've had 1 loss to a top 5 team or something by a close game, and we played them at their place to a dead even game pretty much. And so I would think we would probably get a few votes here or there, but you got to go to Arkansas next, and if you don't get it done there against an SEC team, they just drop you out of it. So, does it, how much value we put on that is pretty small, really. Now, at the end of the season, I think there's some value that would be put on that if we end up in it.
Last question, Coach.
I know you've probably heard the number of 24,012 total people in the stands tonight. You talk about how amazing this OU fan base is, but just those numbers from your perspective, overwhelming, astounding. How would you describe that atmosphere?
I thought our atmosphere was always good here, and obviously it was another level tonight. And standing there at the gate, coming out and seeing the stands full, was really, really gratifying. And, I said Monday that I came here for moments like this where hotels are sold out and every restaurant is full and our stands are full, and hopefully we can have more nights like that. But it was pretty dang special.
All right, Coach.